right, this is the Committee on Public Utilities. This is Thursday, March 22nd, 2018. We're at 6 p.m. Councilor Hanlon.
Present.
Councilor De La Sola.
Here.
I have Councilor DeFlorio.
Here.
And I have Councilor DePiero.
Here.
We have 4 members present. We do have a quorum.
Please, audience and members, please stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Right, the only piece of business on the agenda, this is a order by Councilor Peter Napolitano as president to grant permission to National Grid to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, and on McKinley Street to install one sole-owned Geister pole 2056-1 and an anchor guy.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I move to invite Mr. Cordima and Mr. Cameron before us.
Will you
Second.
gentlemen please come forward?
How's it going, guys?
How you doing?
Hi.
Good.
So
Could you
one of
please,
the,
Just press
each one
that
of
green
you
and flip. Oops.
indicate your name, company you work for, and position.
Yep, Dan Cameron with National Grid. The office is at 170 Medford Street in Malden, and my position is Community and Customer Manager. And I apologize for the casual dress, but I was prepared for a storm today.
that's okay, we all were.
Us too. Sir?
Good evening, councilors. My name is Mike Cordima, 170, from National Grid Electric, 170 Medford Street, Malden. I work in the design group.
Councilman DePiero.
So we had Mr. Cordima, you were before us about a week ago, and the concern, the consensus was the council was trying to maybe come up with a design that would replace the actual whole pole instead of the one across the street. Is there a possibility?
There is a new type of pole in the company. I can approach the standards people about it. Its application is, for instance, is when poles, this guy stub thing can't be put in.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can do is approach them about it and see if we can, and especially with the load on the pole. But I will approach them over that issue.
Okay, thank you. My concern is, obviously the look of it and the possible tripping hazard with the thing across the street, so I appreciate it.
Okay.
Councilor DeFlorio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That was also my concern, is the, the looks also, because we have so many poles in the city with overload. And this is something that I think we have to address in the future. I mean, you're putting, Verizon comes, we put wires. Cable comes, we put wires. We get rid of cable, the wires never come off. And I think this is something that we have to address as a whole in the future. Maybe put a capital improvement plan together or something to get rid of all these wires everywhere, or hold the people accountable. If Comcast comes to you, they have to pay you because it's your pole, is that correct?
Yeah, well, let me see if I can do it. I appreciate your concern, and it's something that the company's struggling with as well, because, as you know, we have another, cable provider in Everett, RCN.
Right.
This is where this came to light. So when someone like RCN comes in, by state law, we have to allow them to attach to our poles as long as the spacing is correct. And if it's not correct, they pay us. We call it make-ready work. We make the pole ready for them to attach. But that doesn't mean that Verizon or Comcast, leave the pole, because they have rights to be there too. So it is something that, we are aware of, and you're right. It's adding, National Grid now takes responsibility for all poles. It used to be by community, and Everett, we always had, we were the custodians, but now we are taking responsibility for all poles. But we are under the state law to provide access.
Right, and I understand that. I mean, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
and maybe we have to go to the state for them to change the law, because I had Comcast, and I went to RCN. Then I went back to Comcast, but the RCN pole wires are still there.
Yeah.
So these utility companies, the RCN, whether it's RCN or Comcast, they make a lot of money, and there's no reason why they can't take old wires. That's like you're building a house, you're wiring the whole house with new wiring, you leave the old wiring there. I mean,
Yeah,
it just
you-
doesn't make sense to me.
Right, you're
So,
referring probably to the service wire, from the pole to the house? Because
well, what
they,
happened is there was a wire down on my street,
Okay.
okay? And I know this is going on all over the city. So we called. They came and they says, oh, that's a dead wire. Okay, it's a dead wire, so why wasn't it removed?
oh, good point, yep, yeah.
So what I'm saying is you have an overload on these poles, because I'm sure if you take a survey throughout the whole city, or the whole Commonwealth probably, you have a lot of wires there that don't belong there. They were never disconnected.
Could be, yeah, if it's
Okay,
auditing.
so who controls that? Is that you? Is it the state?
We don't, well, the only thing we control is allowing or making sure that the pole has the proper spacing so that they can attach. Even the municipalities have the right to attach to a pole too. They have a space on the pole for the fire alarm. But a lot of the fire alarm systems are now wireless. So a lot of the, including the city of Everett, they don't need them anymore, so they're coming off. But, that's all we can do is regulate that they're in their space.
But you
We
can't
tell
regulate
them-
if it's active or inactive.
No, that we don't regulate that.
So is there a law that you could put in effect to say, if we find any inactive wires, that we're gonna fine you for it?
Well, that would be on the state. 'cause-
That would be on the state.
Right, because
That's what I'm at.
we just
Okay.
allow the space, but the state would regulate,
Regulate, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good, all right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any, Council Delasola, sorry.
Good evening, gentlemen. The transformer on the pole right now, that's been on there for years, correct? We didn't add things through the years to make this heavier and tilt over. It's just the age of the pole and the weight's always been there, but the pole's getting, let's say, dried out, and that's why it's leaning?
Well, there was an extra cable added about 5 or 6 years ago, the Dunkin' Donuts store right there. I added an extra service out back. They requested it for a separate service, and the cable that we put in is extremely, well, it's like this.
Right.
It's not your average smaller cable, so it started that process, it probably accelerated the process because it's a long span to another
Right.
pole.
Right.
And those things were installed when construction standards were, they were a lot different back
Yes.
then, say 30, 40 years ago. So now we're in a day and age when all this stuff has certain standards. That's why that pole was requested.
Yeah.
But we may address it in a different way, because that's what you'd like to see.
Because we have a lot of foot traffic there between the elderly and the students in Pope
On that
John
side,
High
yeah,
School.
yeah.
Yeah, so they're always walking around. If we went to this new design pole, you're going to put that one up as if it's a double pole, transfer everything over? Is that what you would do at that point?
No,
well,
they'd have to get that one transferred fast because of the transformer bank. That feeds that building there, as well as that Dunkin' Donuts mini strip thing there.
Yeah.
So stuff like that gets done immediately. They don't let it sit there like that for a while. You can't.
I think, yeah, just to follow up, I think your question was, it would be a double pole for a while. Like Mike
Correct.
said, we would transfer right away. And there's quite a bit on the poles, there's a
Right.
three-phase bank of transformer, and then there's the underground service that feeds over to the housing. So we would transfer all that, and then we would ask the other companies, the same succession.
And they, like any other double pole, you have to wait for them to come.
Exactly,
You do your thing, you're done.
right.
Now you wait
But
for
we
them.
do, we've had these discussions, but we
Right.
do have to share the databases, and I'm sure something like this, we could pinpoint it and say, listen, can you accelerate it? And hopefully
Okay.
they do.
And when would that get started if we're doing a new design pole? When do you think you'd be out there so the neighbors, if they're watching right now, would know that a month from now, we will be out there in that roughly timeframe?
Well, I'd have to look into it with standards, get an answer from them, and then find out this new composite pole I've heard of. We haven't really seen them, but we know that they exist, so then I have to look into that, find out about ordering them from stockroom and stuff.
And it's safe for now if we had to wait 2 months, the way the pole is right now?
I can't say for sure. I'm not that familiar with that
Right.
process.
Unless you can make
No,
a
no, I'm
rush.
talking about the existing, no, the
existing
existing pole is
pole,
fine.
yes.
The existing
Oh.
pole is fine, yes.
Yeah.
It's fine,
okay.
nothing's gonna
Yeah,
happen, okay.
yeah.
That's all I have on that. I just have one comment if I can make. and
Why don't you wait till Anthony
Okay,
does
go
his
ahead.
question? Anthony, I'm sorry, Counselor.
That's okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I only ask if we delay this for about 30 days, is that enough time to maybe come back with some more information about the other pole and.
Plenty of time.
Should be good.
Okay, so after we excuse our guest, I'll move to postpone this till the next Public Utilities meeting. I'm all set. Thank you.
Counselor DeFlorio?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this new pole, you're coming up to show it to us in 30 days? Because I was going to say, just make it favorable action with the understanding that he puts the new pole up. Because we're not in favor, none of us are in favor of this red thing going across. I'm being very honest with you. So if it goes in front of the council, it's going to fail. So if he's going to put the right pole up, why have him come up here again? Oh, you want to research it? I'm sorry. So it's not something that's, I apologize for that.
Yeah,
That's fine.
like Mike said, we know the pole is available, these type of poles. They're beefier, they're stronger, but it's new, to this area, so we just want to.
So it's not something that you have already installed?
Yeah, it's not like something in stock, so we want to
Okay.
reach out to them and then make sure that, yes, this is a good backup plan.
Okay.
And we'll
All right,
move
I'm sorry
forward with
about that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Counselor?
Just on a different subject, if that's all right. I noticed, you may want to write this down, the corner of Woodlawn and Elm, you have a double pole, and the pole that's not being used anymore, there's nothing on it. And it's,
Okay.
all I'm doing is because the schools are right there, and it's literally hanging by a couple of wires, I don't mean electrical wires, cables holding it from falling. He's leading into Elm Street. You may want to double check that.
Woodlawn and Elm.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Woodlawn, it's on Elm Street, but
At the
you'll
corner of
see, you
Woodlawn.
can't miss it.
Yeah, okay.
The students go by there every day.
Yep.
Thank you.
Second?
Second.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for appearing.
Thank you.
Thank
Motion
Thank
made
you,
and second
gentlemen.
to excuse the gentleman with the customary thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So moved.
I
On the
move to
motion.
postpone this till next month's Public Utilities meeting.
Motion made and second to postpone this meeting until the next meeting of Public Utilities, which will be when, John, about? Sometime in April? Yeah, sometime in April. Okay, all right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. We have referred to the next meeting of Public Utility.
Motion to adjourn.
And motion made, second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.